When people think of warriors, they usually picture men. But in Ohafia, women weren't just supporting the battles, they sometimes led them. Ohafia is a community where farmland rights pass through the maternal line. It's also a place where, though rare, women could join the usually male-only Igbo society. Some women warriors called Dikewami became legends, and their stories are still told in folktales today. Take Nne Mgbaafo for example. She believed her husband had been killed by enemies in Ibibio territory. Instead of waiting at home, she put on war gear and went after him herself. Her bravery intimidated the enemies, who finally admitted her husband had been kidnapped and not killed. She rescued him and brought him back to Ohafia. Then there's the story of Inyan Olugu. Her husband hadn't taken any heads in battle, which meant he wasn't recognized as a DK or a valiant warrior. This left him and Inyan Olugu open to humiliation. Determined to restore their honor, she hatched a plan. She convinced her husband to join her in the Nkalo forests, supposedly to harvest palm fruits. While he climbed a tree, she used his gun to kill 5 Nong Ibibie men. She collected their heads, presented them to the ancestral sleep drum, Ikuru, and ensured her husband was celebrated. But she made it clear the honor was hers too for securing their family's dignity. In the 20th century, Nne Uko Uma Awa of Akano Ohafia became famous for courage and leadership. Guided by the divinity Kalo Akano, she and her peers performed a ritual hunt usually reserved for boys. She dressed in male warrior attire, loincloth, leopard cap, and performed the male warrior's Iriaha dance. Eventually, she was accepted into the Igbo society, which was usually for men only. Nne Uko married 2 wives, farmed successfully, earned yam titles, and became keeper of the maternal lineage shrine. Later in life, she returned to wearing traditional female clothing, saying, "I dress like a man because by creation I was meant to be a man. But as it happened, when coming into this world, I came with a woman's body." Now, these stories of Nne Mgbaafo, Inyan Olugu, and Nne Uko Uma Awa show us something important. Women in Ohafia weren't powerless. They could fight, lead, protect family honor, and even break into male-only institutions, all while claiming their own agency. So now I'm curious, have you heard stories like this before? Stories of women in your community who broke boundaries, protected their family, or quietly carried unusual strength? Share them in the comments. Let's document our own heroine.